Hello, welcome to the preview show here at the Corner Flag. We are here at your YouTube channels at 9:30 p.m. on a Friday. This is what we're doing. New stuff, previewing all the fixtures, not just doing the roundup, giving you a preview of all the fixtures in the Premier League as well. And we've got a big weekend coming up. Joining us today again, Ronaq is here, fresh with a new haircut and all, bro. Looking all like chikna and
Yeah.
all.
Thank you.
Has the Corner Flag given you a reason to like, you
I
know?
mean, normally यार सब दाढ़ी वाड़ी थोड़ी बढ़ गई थी, होता है कि इंसान बन के आ जाता हूँ थोड़ा.
ऐसे होता है जब भी मुकेश वगैरह भी आते हैं हेयर कट वगैरह करके तो बहुत मजा आता है लव मेकिंग फन ऑफ हिम वीव
स्कूल में ताजी वगैरह होता था.
got we've got our very old listener, not very old as in he's not very old, but long time listener and follower of the Conflag, Vishal, has already entered the chat with a lovely
Nice.
thing here. I don't know why it's not showing. There we go. Back to back live streams. Oh my god, amazing. Can't handle this. That's right, Vishal. We are here to blow you away. And when we said that we are going to do as much content as we can, we were not kidding. This is it.
Literally.
This is it. All right. Preview करने वाले हैं, रौनक. It is going to be a fantastic weekend. Again, new week, new hopes for us as United fans. But we'll get to them in a bit. I think we have to start off with the fact that Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have a glorious opportunity right now. Right, we spoke about this in our last stream as well about how Liverpool's upcoming fixtures are tricky, and Arsenal comparatively have a slightly easier running, and that begins from tomorrow. Arsenal taking
Yes.
on Nuno
West
Espirito
Ham.
Santo's West Ham. A
But
new
the
West Ham.
fun fact, Arsenal have lost both their previous home games against West Ham. So last season and the season before that. So I think Arteta ko in the press conference they asked him about this, and he's like, they asked him about player rotation basically, and he's like, we've had problems in the past in this
Right,
fixture, and basically not going to do that again.
right.
So yeah, even there were concerns with Gabriel also, who was yellow flagged because he was taken off last game in the Champions League
Yeah,
in the midweek, and Arteta also said that that was just strictly as a precaution because he got a knock in that game in the first half,
yeah,
and Gabriel is so important,
yeah.
to the Arsenal backline, and yeah, I think this season Arteta has been doing really well, rotating his players and managing his players well, and Calafiori has been playing all the games
Yeah.
in the Arsenal defense, and in this Champions League fixture didn't play a single minute. Proper week's rest. Now he's back for the West Ham game. So
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, and we spoke about Arsenal squad depth. I mean, that's what the squad depth really helps you to do. And
Yeah.
it's good for Arsenal fans. It's great to see Arteta really taking the squad rotation quite seriously and quite well. Of course, West Ham not have not had a very good start to the season. Graham Potter first managerial sacking of this season,
Hmm.
uh, and it was I mean inevitable.
Everyone saw
With
it coming. Yeah.
Everyone saw it coming, and it looks really bad for Graham Potter. Let's talk about Potter for a second there,
Oh,
because here's
actually,
a
he was the
manager.
second one. Sorry to cut you off. First was Nuno, man,
Of
uh,
course,
from Wolves. So shit.
yes. I think, I
Yeah.
mean, it happened so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, but with Potter, I mean, here is a guy. I heard this on another football podcast, which made a very fantastic point. Like when it comes to managers, everybody talks about the the skill of the manager being and how they set up their team, the talent ID in terms of the players that they want to bring to the club and are successful in bringing to the club, how they set up with them,
Hmm.
etc., 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 win percentages, yada yada
Hmm.
yada, all the things that Ruben Amorim is not known for.
Correct.
But what we don't pay attention to, and what I feel is a very important part of a manager's success story in their career, is their ability to pick the right job. And I feel like Graham Potter has time and again proven that he cannot pick the right job. All right, because here is a guy who started off very differently compared to other English managers. You know, with his experiences in Sweden. I think he was at Östersund, if I'm not mistaken. And again, the work that he did at Swansea was really good. You know, he
Hmm.
brought a slightly different outlook to what British coaches can bring to the game.
Hmm.
Then when he comes to Brighton,
Brighton.
that for me was his perfect job. You know, he really did a good job at Brighton. If there is any reason why Brighton are still a Premier League fixture now, and young people watching this will know that Brighton have only come into the Premier League fold very recently. It's not like they've been a mainstay of the Premier League before. And the only reason why that has happened is, yes, one is the ownership and the structure that they follow, but also another main reason is Graham Potter. He really laid the foundations over there, and it's on those foundations that Brighton have continued to build with all the other coaches they've had since.
Hmm.
But he has then taken the Chelsea job at a time when Chelsea was very volatile. Like, he was destined to fail at that Chelsea.
Hmm.
It was never going to work out. And then,
I don't think even he knew that Chelsea was going to
yeah,
be that volatile, because within, I think, a month of Todd Bowley coming in, or maybe a couple months of Todd Bowley coming in, he sacked Thomas Tuchel, who was their Champions League winning manager and everything, right?
yeah, but that should have been
Uh,
a clue.
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, that really should have been a clue. Like, if this is a new owner that is very happy to pull the trigger on Thomas Tuchel, a Champions League winning manager,
Hmm.
like you just said, what chance does Graham Potter have? And
Yeah.
this is Graham Potter, who's come from Swansea and Brighton to Chelsea. How are those players going to react? It's kind of like David Moyes at Man United. Like, this is a very tough act to follow,
Hmm.
especially for a young manager, and which is unfortunately what I feel like with Ruben Amorim as well. Like, it seems like he is too young and too inexperienced for this job. I don't know what the solution is, and then again,
Hmm.
when we discuss the United Sunderland game, we'll get into that. But I feel like taking the Chelsea job, of course, it would have been very hard for him to say no.
Hmm.
So fair play. But then after that, taking the West Ham job, that is another bad decision.
I mean, I don't know if that was particularly a bad decision, because West Ham are a decent team, man. I know it didn't work out for him at West Ham, and
There are
I don't know why it didn't work out.
it's
Uh,
the ownership, man. I'll tell you what, West Ham are a decent team. See, the size of the club is very good. The fact that they have a decent history, the fact that they've moved to the London Stadium, they really clearly do have ambitions of
hmm.
moving ahead of their current position. So on paper, it all sounds good, but the fact of the matter is that the West Ham owners are really not in the right space right now. The way they're running the club is quite suspect. The fans are not very happy with the ownership of Gold and Sullivan. It's not a very happy place to go in, and especially if you're looking for your next job. Uh, and your next job involves you
Hmm.
forfeiting the money that Chelsea keeps paying you, right?
Hmm.
I think his contract was still on, right? Like, they were still giving him severance pay. So
Hmm.
the minute he
Right.
takes the new job,
Hmm.
he forfeits that pay. To then take it for West Ham, I think, was probably not the best thing. And I would say that even that was a job where he was destined to fail.
Hmm. I mean, at that point, what other club, if you wanted to stay in the Premier League, what other club was even potentially hiring? Because Everton was hiring, and David Moyes went from West Ham to Everton, which
Yeah,
made the vacancy at West Ham.
yeah,
So there were no other proper Premier League clubs out there that I mean, he could have just taken a sabbatical and maybe joined Nottingham like
yeah.
Ange did.
That's what I was going to say. He should have stuck out for a little while longer, take a break. It's
Hmm.
not like,
But I
you've
think, like, any,
lost out on money.
like, I'm sure he, even that person, like, I mean, even Graham Potter has some level of competitive spirit. That's why he's in the sport, and that's why he's in, like, managing a club in the Premier League. So
Yeah,
even he would have been, after the Chelsea stint, even he would have thought that, I want to turn things around for my own career.
yeah,
And he thought West Ham might, back him, and get the right signings in, and said West Ham didn't do that.
yeah.
They not even sold Kudus. They didn't buy anyone proper.
Exactly.
To
And that
intent wasn't there. Intent wasn't there.
and
And
that just goes back to the ownership, right? Like
Yeah,
that is exactly the point I'm trying to make, which is that the ownership
correct.
is really fucking up that club right now. And Potter should have realized this before he signed that contract.
Hmm.
Uh, but Nuno Espirito Santo is now the new manager of West Ham, and it just the kaun sa movie Aakhe, I think, where the happens between Akshay Kumar and whoever else. Straight swap between Nuno for Forest to West Ham. But first thing that Nuno has done is that he has told James Ward-Prowse that he does not have a future at West Ham. Now, the reason I bring this up is because, Ronak, you are new to the corner flag. You don't know the lore, maybe, but long-time listeners, Vishal is probably one of them. Long-time listeners will know a very long time ago, our very own Mukesh Manjunath had a extremely hot, a blazing hot take, which was that he said, "Man, I would gladly take James Ward-Prowse at Liverpool. He is a class player. He guarantees you a full season injury free." And we all made fun of him because we were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? James Ward-Prowse is not that level of a player. He's a decent mid-table club,
Hmm.
lower mid-table club asset. He is
Right.
not at the position where he plays for an elite team like Liverpool, and he's a one trick pony. Uska set piece hai bas, और कुछ नहीं. He does not
Hmm.
bring anything else to the table. As the newest entrant to the corner flag fold, Ronak, I want you to tell us and our listeners what you think about the Right Honourable James Ward-Prowse.
I mean, see, I think he's definitely not the Liverpool midfielder that you'd want. If even if Liverpool would have bought him, he would have not played more. He would have not started more than 5 to 10 games for them max.
Exactly.
So yeah, he's definitely a mid-table team player. But as a mid-table club, I think James Ward-Prowse would be a very good player for a mid-table club, because when a team is in the second half of the Premier, is in the bottom half of the Premier League, they rely on set pieces and they rely on counter attacks and a range of passing, and that is something that James Ward-Prowse definitely has.
Yeah, yeah, fair. But again, I'm all I'm saying is Mukesh liking James Ward-Prowse as a Liverpool fan is extremely on point, because at the end of the day तुम लोग को Trent भी इतना बहुत पसंद है. Trent is also one trick pony, which I
I mean,
love to
Trent
say.
is different
Set
levels,
pieces.
man. Like Trent ka from right back position, his assist numbers are fucking crazy.
See,
Like,
Ronak, see, I know you're making sense. I'm just trying to rabble rouse over here. I'm just trying to do some ungli to Liverpool fans, because as supporters of Manchester United who are languishing in the bottom half of the table still, we have very little else to do, and very
pretty
little else
much.
that brings us joy.
We'll talk about anyone else but United.
Exactly, exactly. And when the time comes to talk about United, we'll swiftly gloss over it. But yeah, so that is James Ward-Prowse. I don't see any other result coming this way. Like, this is clearly an Arsenal win, right? Like, I don't see any
Yeah, yeah,
chance of
yeah.
an upset. If you're betting people, if you're FPL people, like, don't even think about putting alternate bets or alternate FPL moves and
Not at all.
differentials with West Ham. It is
100% Arsenal win, and I think they might even come out with a clean sheet. Like, I mean, might, because
100%.
West Ham can always just surprise you because they have players of quality like Paqueta, like Bowen. Like, and Paqueta scored that worldie in, I think,
Hmm.
game week 2 or 3. So they can surprise you like that. But in terms of consistent attacking gameplay and consistent chances, West Ham are going to be like completely starved of chances. Nahi milega against Arsenal.
Yeah, I love all the Mukesh fun that's happening in the chat. Mukesh bhai went ahead and said, "Okay, solid pick for FPL." Yes, that is also that is also something that Mukesh has said. He has sent us his FPL team, by the way, which we will show everyone towards the end of the stream when we discuss
Mukesh didn't
FPL.
know what a wild card is. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, guys,
lost
everybody
all
who's listening,
credibility.
yeah, please don't take FPL tips from Mukesh Manjunath. Like Rana said, he did not know what a wild card was. He only just realized what triple captain does. All right, last season in FPL, he did auto pick just to see what happens at the end of the season. That is the kind of guy. Sounds like Mukesh right after having a steaming hot egg burji. Yes, again, another part of corner flag lore Ishan is saying that should be on the run order for every live. Yes, making fun of Mukesh should always be on the run order. Right, it is going to be a very very easy victory for Arsenal. I think we can call it right now, and that will possibly change the look of the Premier League table really well, because right now Arsenal in second place on 13 points, 2 points behind Liverpool, who are top
Hmm.
with 15. But Liverpool are away at Chelsea. Chelsea versus
Hmm.
Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. That is going to be a tricky fixture. Yes, Chelsea have been disappointing in the last three games that they've played. They've like the only positive result was a 1-0 victory over Benfica, Jose Mourinho's Benfica. Uh, Jose Mourinho enjoying the little cream biscuits at Stamford Bridge and meeting all the old stuff.
I mean, see, Mourinho back at Chelsea is always like it's a big thing, because even Mourinho himself has said that, out of all the clubs that he's managed, Chelsea is the only place he's come back. So he holds a special place for Chelsea, and they both, like,
Rightfully
Roman
so.
Abramovich had just taken over Chelsea. Mourinho was the guy who got Chelsea into the big leagues, so to say,
Yeah,
in the Premier League, and same for, like, even Chelsea. Like Chelsea, of course, Mourinho came as a Champions League winner from Porto, but then the questions were that can he do it in league, and can he do it in the Premier League, and
yeah.
then Mourinho obviously shattered all those questions with his time at Chelsea.
Absolutely. Big news from the Liverpool camp, of course, is that Allison is out with an
Hmm.
injury. So, little FPL note for the likes of Mukesh Manjunath who have Allison in their FPL team. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody else who's watching this right now also has Allison in their FPL team, but Allison is not going to play. Giorgio Mamardashvili gets a start,
Yeah, Mamar
gets a
Dashvili.
debut.
Yeah.
What are
Premier
your
League debut, na?
thoughts? Premier
Yeah.
League debut for him. But
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on this
I
Georgian
mean, he's a
keeper?
he's a good goalkeeper. I've seen
Yeah,
clips of him when Liverpool signed him, and you've to also know that Liverpool signed him a year prior to when he actually came. So it was a investment, thinking about the future,
yeah,
and I think he's a great second keeper. Like, I mean, from the likes of Kelleher, they go to this Mama Dashvili dude, and seems to be a good second keeper. And eventually, I think once Allison, because even Allison's time, although he's in great form, but he's always been injury riddled. Past 3 seasons, he's had injuries in every season, multiple injuries in the season as well. So for a goalkeeper, you can't have that. You
yeah.
just can't have that. So even Liverpool know that more than not having Allison, because he's just such a great keeper. You can't not have him. But they just understood that they needed cover for Allison, and yeah, that's where they're at.
Yeah. On the other side, for Chelsea, of course, Joao Pedro will want to hit the ground running again. He's had a quiet couple of games for Chelsea. He
Hmm.
needs to get back on the scoring form, not just for Chelsea, but for FPL managers like myself who have invested in him from game week one. I think you
I
also
mean,
have him.
he is the highest owned player in the game this year. I think now it might be Haaland, but yeah, maybe just because of his price point, and he's Chelsea's like starting number 9. So
Yeah.
we know he's going to have a lot of chances his way.
Yeah, and he also had
Uh,
a great preseason with Chelsea. Like he,
yeah, yeah,
Club World Cup and preseason, just dropping
and
into the middle of the
I
Chelsea
think,
squad at the Club World Cup and just
yeah,
going for it from day one.
and I think we can overlook the past couple of games, because Chelsea have had multiple red cards in that time frame. They,
Hmm.
they took a fourth or fifth minute red card against United, and then they again took a red card, Chaluba with a
Yeah,
red card in the previous game. So I think now this game on could be. I mean, not this game because it's against Liverpool, but I mean, at least he'd be hoping for a better chance,
yeah,
because he was just defending the previous games. And
mm,
I think even now Enzo playing in the number 10, like, whenever Palmer drops out, Enzo plays as a number 10, and he really does well, man. He really does,
yeah,
even from an FPL perspective. He really does well in that number 10 area, and of course he has Pedro Neto and Esteva on the wings,
yeah,
and Caicedo, man, he's a monster of a midfielder. So I think Chelsea have can score, because Liverpool have leaked goals. Uh, this would be an interesting game. Not definitely not an easy game for Liverpool, and I think Liverpool are the favorites, but Chelsea have something to prove,
Yeah.
and I think they'll be back with some vengeance, so to say, because they've had a bad run of games lately.
Yeah, but at the same time, Liverpool have also faltered a little bit in the Champions League. I think Galatasaray beating them
Hmm.
is something that will be playing on their minds. Arne Slot throwing his players under the bus, like we said last time as well on the stream.
Wait, Liverpool lost in the
I think
Champions League? I
so,
thought they
right?
drew, no?
Did they draw?
I mean, if it's back-to-back losses, then it's a big talking point because I've not. If it was such a big talking point,
Liverpool
then
lost.
it
Yeah,
should have been
Liverpool
earlier.
lost 1-0 against
Shoot.
Galatasaray.
Oh wow! I thought it was a draw,
Yeah, no,
and they
Liverpool
lost
lost.
to Palace right on the
And they
weekend.
lost to
So
Palace
it's
on the
back-to-back
weekend.
losses for Liverpool. Let's see how
Back
they
to back,
bounce
yeah.
back.
Yeah, back-to-back losses. I mean, Liverpool are 17th in the Champions League table.
Table, yeah.
They're equal on points. Chelsea is 18th in that same table, equal on 3 points. So
Hmm.
it is really going to be a spicy encounter. And like Gaurav said, I'll just put the chat up again. Gaurav said that I feel it will be a 1-1 draw. There is some merit to that because I feel like Chelsea are a team that's going to know that Liverpool look shaky, and they will want to capitalize. Considering the fact that they are at home, they will want to make things difficult for Liverpool. They will want to pressurize Liverpool. We've spoken about how Liverpool's backline, especially with the Konate, is looking a little shaky. And then on the wings again, Kirkaz hasn't had the best start to his Liverpool career. Jeremy Frimpong has been in and out with injury, so he hasn't really had time to settle. Uh, that
I
backline is looking very weak. And now, considering that you don't even have your first choice keeper in goal, they
hmm.
will want to test this backline out from the get go. So I completely expect Chelsea to hit the ground running and just go on the offensive right from kickoff.
I don't think this game is a draw at all. Like, I feel it is a 2-1 or a 3-2 kind of a game, even because Liverpool under slot in
Hmm.
general like the long ball. They like the direct shift, and they play end to end football. And now lately they've been conceding so many goals,
Yeah.
and they've been shaky defensively. So it's the games literally are always box to box with Liverpool, and Chelsea have the pace to attack. They have the Estevao, they have Pedro Neto, who can really exploit uh, any lapse or any counter attacking opportunities. So I think this game is going to be complete end to end attacking football. And if अगर गलती से भी like गलती से भी first half nil all रह गया ना, then we can probably go to a 1-all. But I think the first goal will just bloody take everything off. It'll set
It'll open it
off.
up. It'll
Yeah.
open it up. But yeah, like I do agree. I feel like this has more than a 1-1. This has a lot of chaos written
Hmm.
in it.
Yeah,
Uh,
literally. Lot of chaos.
Ishan has asked a question in the chat, which I think we should discuss. What do you think Maresca is getting wrong at Chelsea? Do you think Maresca is getting anything wrong at Chelsea, or
I
is it
think
just
just
that Chelsea is
clear
just a
cut.
basket case club?
No, I think just team management decisions, man. Like, I mean, the game against United, I think said it all. When
Hmm.
he took out Pedro Neto and Estevao in the same heartbeat,
Yeah,
and then 20 minutes later, Cole Palmer had to be subbed off. But when we spoke about this earlier, if you've gotten a red card to your goalkeeper, you 10 men in the opening 5 minutes of the game, all you need is space so you can
yeah,
bloody counter, because you're going to be defending, especially against a United team
yeah,
who can play well on their good days. And if you're playing against 10 men, better well that they are going to attack. So
yeah,
those decisions were just horrible.
yeah,
Removing Pedro Neto and Estevao, he had no outlet.
yeah,
Cole Palmer, just off of an injury, you can't expect him to run against the 11 Man United.
yeah,
And yeah, man, it was just horrible decision. And then another thing is he keeps playing Palmer through the middle, which is just a horrible decision. He's shown across the past seasons that he's so effective off the right wing, where he has enough space. He can drift in and out the way he chooses to,
yeah,
but his opening position has to be out wide on the right, and
yeah,
there he influences the game so much better. And
yeah,
you can put Enzo in the 10. You can put he previously had Nkunku. He could play at Nkunku in that 10 as well. And yeah, man, just keep Palmer out wide, play Caicedo and Lavia as the defensive midfielders who would hold the game for you, and play Enzo in the number 10.
yeah. Ishan has said that the depth in squad that they have, they shouldn't be playing Tyrick George as their striker, which I do agree with, and
Oh, 100%.
I feel, Ronak and Ishan, I do feel that is the mistake that Maresca is making at Chelsea. I
Yeah.
think Chelsea have bought so many players. Maresca does not know what tactics to use. He does not know who is best suited to what position. It is a problem of plenty at Chelsea, right? It
Yeah.
is the oldest problem in the world, and he is making it a problem for himself because he has so many assets at his disposal. He just simply does not know what to do with any of them.
No, and when Liam Delap got injured for, I think he was injured for 8 weeks, and he called back Mark Guew, who had gone on loan to Sunderland, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
And that would have been such a good move for him to get minutes under a Sunderland team who've been
exactly,
playing really well. He
exactly.
called him, and he hasn't. I don't think Guew has even played. Maybe a
Nope.
couple of minutes here and there. So it is just absolute bullshit what they've done. Like, such a good young player, needs Premier League experience. He would be a brilliant in the coming seasons if he gets those minutes.
Yeah,
But robbed him of it and not even
Robin.
playing him.
Absolutely. I would hate to be Mark View right now because it would be such a frustrating thing for him, right?
नहीं, and Maresca has come out and said कि Mark Hughes been training so well, he will get minutes for us, this that. अरे बेटा तू
बोलने के लिए तो
खेलना फिर उसको.
खिला दो
हाँ.
उसको. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I feel like, yes, just going back to overall predictions, I feel like it is going to be a high scoring game. 3-2, I think, is your call, Ronak. I do
Yeah.
kind
Any
of
side, 3-2, any side.
exactly, exactly, and yeah, just going by Guy also, the loan at Sunderland would have been really good for him because we know as United fans what the loan at Sunderland did for Ahmad.
Yeah.
Ahmad came to United as this scrawny little teenager,
Mm.
and Sunderland really manned him up.
Yeah.
Sunderland really showed him the reality of lower league English football, and he
Yeah.
got toughened up because of that, and he's come back to
Correct.
United a much better player, to the point where
100%.
Sunderland
Alexa,
fans
stop, man.
uh, to the point where Sunderland fans still regard Ahmad as one of the best signings that they made while he was there. So that's I do feel bad for Magyu, but let's go then to the game that I wish we
Oh,
didn't have
actually,
to
just
talk
one
about.
thing about Liverpool and Chelsea. Who do you
Hmm.
think is going to start? Ekitike is apparently back from his injury.
Hmm.
Isaac, of course, I think Isaac will start, but I think as an FPL, from an FPL perspective, it is so annoying to have a team like Liverpool
Yeah.
who are such an attacking team and we don't know which assets to buy.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you can go to a 14.5 Mo Salah, but you don't want to stretch, or 14.0, whatever, 14.5 only, yeah. And because he's not been delivering to the
Yeah.
level, I think
Yeah.
this is his slowest FPL start to the
Yeah.
season in the opening
Yeah.
6 game week. So
Yeah.
so frustrating to even have Isaac, but you don't know whether he's going to play all games, whether
Yeah.
he's going to play, because you want your 10.4, 10.5 million striker to be playing every single minute.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case with Liverpool now.
Let us know in the live chat who you think is going to start, and don't keep your FPL biases in play just because तुम्हारे टीम में ईसाक है ऐसा मत बोलो कि ईसाक को start करना चाहिए. ऐसे logically बोलो what you think is going to be the thing. I feel like Slot is going to go with Isak.
This week, yeah, 100% Isaac, because just Ekitike is just coming back from a minor injury or knock, whatever he'd gotten.
I mean, that
So
knock
this
was
week Isaac,
probably
but
given to him by Slot himself. The way things went. What has happened to Hugo Ekitike? Oh, he has a fractured jawbone. Oh, in training? No, after training, I gave him a punch. I think that's how it would have worked out. But
played out.
I think, let's be very honest. I feel like, apart from Ekitike's behavior, which is a very minor thing if we look at the larger
Scheme of things,
situation.
yeah. Yeah.
Taking your jersey off and getting sent off for a second yellow, it's a stupid thing to do, but it's a very, very minor thing. The fact is that Hugo Ekitike has played very, very well.
Yeah.
He has been on the good side of the goals for Liverpool from the time he has joined. The only reason, however, that Ekitike started at the start of the season is because Isak's transfer took so long. But
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, right from the very first day of the transfer window, or even before that, we all know that the plan at Liverpool was always to get Alexander Isak as their main number 9. he was always going to be their starting player. He was always going to be their Maverick signing. He is the British record transfer fee player, for fuck's sake.
Hmm.
Like, he was always going to be the main man.
Yeah.
And just because it took so long, he has been slow to kind of get into it. But now he's racking up the minutes in a Liverpool shirt. And I feel like against Chelsea, Slot is going to play Isak up top. He's going to
Hmm.
start with Isak for sure.
Yeah.
He will have Ekitike on the bench as an impact sub because he
Hmm.
knows Ekitike is in a hot run of form. So
Hmm.
if the game is not going according to plan, he can always throw Isak on, maybe even at 50, 55 minutes if he has to.
Correct.
Uh, and that's how he will play it. If 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 you're thinking about which one to get in your FPL team, I think
I'm not. I mean,
Isak.
that is the whole point. I'm not thinking to get either because I'm so unsure of the minutes going
That's the
forward.
bet. Yeah, that's the better way of going about it. Even I have none of them. I do have
Yeah.
Salah, but I'm really rethinking that decision. Which again we
I'm
will,
so happy I took him off for Haaland.
yeah, we'll discuss that in detail when we talk about FPL towards the end. But yes, we should go to our team,
Hmm.
Sunderland. No, अरे रॉय किन मैनेज किया उनको यार, थोड़ा बहुत कनेक्शन है यूनाइटेड के साथ. हमने
True.
उनको
True.
relegate भी किया after they teased us for losing the title on goal difference to Man City. Traumatic. But yes, the Black Cats are coming to Old Trafford after many years. They are back in the
Hmm.
Premier League and they are making the Premier League their own. From being so badly owned and so badly run that they got multiple relegations handed to them back to back to back. They have made their way back up to the Premier League, which is a great story.
Correct.
Sunderland Till I Die is honestly one of my favorite football documentaries before all the football documentary fad started. Fuck All or Nothing.
Hmm.
Sunderland Till I Die is the OG, and it is genuinely a very good doc. If you haven't watched it yet, please watch it.
Hmm.
No love lost for Sunderland though, because again, like I said, the way they treated us when we lost the title to City on goal
Hmm.
difference, there is always that little grudge. But
Correct.
all of that is in the past, Rona. We keep talking about this. United need to stop looking at the past. The present is
Hmm.
what matters, and very honestly, the present fucking sucks.
Pretty
United versus
much.
Sunderland. Ronak, what to expect in this game? I think
No, I
that's
mean,
the only thing I can ask. What to expect?
I think we've spoken about this before. Like, any pundit, any person who even thinks about talking about United is only half sure about
Hmm.
whatever his thoughts are. Because
Yeah.
anything can happen in a United game.
Yeah.
We can go out there and score 4 goals, concede 3. We can go out there, come out with a clean sheet for some weird reason. Anything can happen in a United game.
Yeah.
And lately it's just been like, United still tops the chart, like across 20 teams opening 6 game weeks. United tops the chart in XG. We should have scored the highest number of goals according to our chances created, but we've just not been able to
Ronak,
uh,
it's
realistically put them away. And I
it's
read this one comment on a very random Instagram post, on random United post. uh, United, what United make football look more difficult than what it is, and it is
yeah,
so true.
yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's so difficult to watch United play. I don't know, what do they do, man? It's unreal. Like, we have
I'm
good players in there,
we have
but
we have we have good players. We just don't have belief. We just don't have that, and I don't even know what it is. Like, I'm so tired of analyzing United games and just generally watching United games anymore, because it's just a fucking mood ruiner. It is a buzzkill, and
literally.
I don't feel, but you have to do it. And just going back to what you said about United leading the table in XG, it's finally happened, hasn't it? It's happened, and I think we should address the elephant in the room, Ronak. It's happened. The completion of the transformation of Manchester United into banter club has happened. With that
I
line
mean,
that you said,
let
we
me
top
also
we top the table in XG. Ronak is as close
I'll
to
also
second
give you the
place is
other.
like a trophy.
I'll also give you the other part. We also are second in the table for XGC, highest goals conceded.
पर
Only Burnley below us.
पर मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ ना ब्रो, दिस इज एग्जैक्टली लाइक वेंगर सेइंग फोर्थ प्लेस इज आल्सो अ ट्रॉफी. That was when Wenger said fourth place is like a trophy. That completed the banter club era for them. Like
True
that or
that.
rather that started. That was 99% तक पहुंचा था download bar. वो statement के साथ 100% हो गया downloaded, ready to view. And the banter club era started for Arsenal. And I feel like if we are if on this show right now, if we are saying that United leads the table in XG, we're done, man. We're
But
done. That
I'm
is it.
no, but that wasn't like a okay, United. It was just a stat that although they've been playing decently well, attacking football or whatever, but we've just had such bad defensive displays. We've not controlled any games, and it just seems like such a weird no cohesion in the team.
Yeah.
कोई भी कुछ भी कर रहा है, and you're just expecting like a Cunha or an Embomo to just get into a good position and get a shot away. There's
Yeah.
no consistent way of play, no consistent chances that are getting created, and our quality into the box is so bad at times. It's just very annoying. Like we consistently keep getting Dorgu in
Yeah.
that left wing role and expect him to be delivering balls. I don't know, like he's Ryan Giggs or what, and
Yeah.
he's just not there, man. Like it'll take time.
Yeah. But
And
speaking of that left wing back role, Tyrell Malacia has rejoined the group after being
oh, he's alive.
yeah, he's alive.
Okay.
But it is like he has been banished to the under 21s after being put in the bomb squad with Garnacho and Rashford. He has been banished to the under 21s. Then the reports came out, and I love how the PR and narrative around Manchester United works, right? The reports started coming out that people at the club are blown away by his intensity and his professionalism. क्या मस्ट ट्रेनिंग कर रहा है वो. हाँ मतलब अंडर 21 के साथ सीनियर प्लेयर मस्ट ट्रेनिंग करेगा ही.
Must.
मस्त एकदम मस्त ट्रेनिंग करेगा. एंड नाउ ही हैज बीन ब्रॉट बैक इनटू फर्स्ट टीम. Where do you think it makes even an iota of a difference?
Honestly, I mean, I have no clue. मैं बोल रहा हूँ like with this team, with this current set of players, with everything, like someone told me respond to my previous video that we've been maybe a little too harsh. He's not even a year completed into the role at United. It's anyway a very horrendous stage that we are in. He's barely gotten 4 players that he's wanted. He didn't get a Baleba, didn't get the main midfield. 130, 20 million Baleba is not a normal signing. It's a signing that was 120 million worth importance,
Yeah.
so उतना important player अगर नहीं मिला उसको, and he's having to make do with the likes of Ugarte and an aging Casemiro. Casemiro's been good, but doesn't have the intensity that a Baleba would get. Ugarte doesn't have the capabilities of passing range of decision making that Casemiro has. So, in that sense, maybe Amorim has not been backed entirely, but at some point, you just have to get the results, man. No
Yeah.
one cares if you're playing in a 3-4-3. No one cares if you're playing in a 2-9, like 2-7, whatever. Like, just fucking get the wins in. And if
Yeah.
you can't do that, then you're not gonna stay in the position for much longer. I can like him, hate him, whatever. It doesn't matter. He has to get the results for the team,
Yeah.
and that is most important. I can
Yeah.
see that he has a vision. He's got the right players. I loved United's transfer window. It was brilliant pieces of business. We got rid of the Deadwood, not even Deadwood, because their players were doing well abroad, but
Hmm.
they didn't work out for us. So it's okay. We cut our losses and send them
Yeah.
away. We try to get new players in, but I mean, you just have to fucking get the results, man,
Yeah.
by hook or by crook. There's no
Yeah.
way else. And this Sunderland game, I think he's nearing the axe. And
Yeah.
because United is such a volatile team, such a volatile club with volatile results all across. Abhi bhi, if he suppose ends up winning 3 back-to-back now, then people will be like, "Arey, fuck, give him time, give him time."
He
But
is
on
the
three
next
back,
Alex Ferguson.
so like the fucking narrative just switches in a heartbeat at United.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said in the last video, yaar, it's all on fucking whatever happens. I'm just gonna see the results when they happen, and then
Yeah.
take a call on what is what.
Did you see the interview that Owen Hargreaves did with Ruben Amorim recently?
Hmm.
So I read an interesting
Snippets.
I read an interesting tweet about this, right? Somebody had I forget the username on Twitter, but somebody had a very important and very interesting point to make about that, which is that Owen Hargreaves did not ask the tough questions of Ruben Amorim. It seemed like a very sanitized interview. But more than that, something that Amorim said really kind of raised a bit of a red flag for me and for this person on Twitter, which is that Amorim, and I'm paraphrasing quite badly, but Amorim was basically asked about the results and how the team has been playing. And one of the things he said was essentially what you said, that he still does not have the right profile of players, and when things go bad, we lose the belief and we lose the this thing, and we don't know how to come back from that, etc., etc. And that was it. Now the question is, what are you as a manager doing about that? Because that is your job as a manager.
Hmm.
If the players are not responding well to setbacks, to defeats, to having decisions go against them, what are you doing as the leader? That I feel is very, very important. And his response to that question just made it seem like he is very happy to throw his players under the bus as well. And
Hmm.
that really did not sit well with me. And I am somebody who will back every United manager till the point that they are sacked. Right? Ralph Rangnick ho to bhi chalega. Like, I wanted Rangnick to succeed. I wanted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to succeed. I wanted Eric Ten Hag to succeed. I want Amorim to succeed as well. But this is the
Hmm.
first time that I'm starting to feel in Amorim's tenure that, buddy, what are you doing?
Hmm.
I don't want to see the manager of Man United, the club that I love and I support, throw his players under the bus like that, because I just haven't grown up in a culture where that is true. Ferguson never threw his players under the bus. He in fact fucking axed his captain in Roy Keane, a maverick player, a very important part of the squad, a thoroughbred leader. He axed him
Hmm.
because Roy Keane went on MUTV and threw young players like Darren Fletcher under the bus.
Hmm.
So I am I don't understand what he's trying to do here, what sort of reaction he's trying to get from his players. And I remember in the last stream you also said about Amorim, which is that he is a young man, he is a young manager, he's a young person with fresh ideas. He can probably relate to this generation of players much better.
Hmm.
But this is not going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, see, I agree. For any manager to throw their players under the bus is just not the right way to do things. Any issue you have with the player, you solve it with the team or behind closed doors, as they say. Uh, with the social media era, the media room is just the last place you want to do any of these things. So I'm just not on board with that, especially when the situation is volatile enough at United.
Yeah,
Usme or it's like you're putting whatever ghee dal rahe ho aag mein, whatever the saying is,
yeah, yeah,
and I think that is stupid. I think he should be the number one player, like he did with Bayindir, because there were so many questions, and he time and again he reinforced that no, Altay Bayindir is a good goalkeeper and he is going to be between the sticks, because realistically he didn't have any other way. He didn't have any other place to go.
yeah,
He had to say that Alta is a good goalkeeper, because he can't realistically say that Alta is not doing well and then again play Alta in the next game.
yeah,
So he did the right things at that point, but now flipping the script, and like you said, Owen Hargreaves didn't ask the right questions or didn't ask the tough questions. I think United is such a huge, commercially huge club. Obviously, every single interview is PR driven.
yeah,
It is not straight from the heart. It is not like a United का manager अगर interview दे रहा है, it is everything is bloody rehearsed,
yeah,
and he's like probably not allowed to say very very core things, or even the questions are tailored in a specific way. And truthfully, agar if because that's what happened with Mourinho. He ended up throwing players under the bus like Pogba, then he had tiffs in the playing ground, and then soon enough he was sacked after. And
yeah.
I think that this change is probably what sparks it. I don't want it to, I hope players kind of turn up on against Sunderland then and put in some performances, not for the manager, for the club, and for themselves as individuals also, because they're good players.
Yeah. Uh, in terms of the game now, Ahmad and Casemiro are both back. Ahmad, of course, had to leave the squad for a family bereavement, and our thoughts and prayers are with him. All support is with him. Casemiro, of course, back from his suspension. Two very important players. I think they will strengthen the team a lot
Hmm.
more. Keeping that in mind, what do you think this game is going to end up being? Like, do you think we'll come away with the 3 points? I have to say yes.
Yeah, I think we will come away with the 3 points. I don't know how convincingly. I
Oh,
hope it's
convincingly.
convincing enough. I hope it's convincing enough as a United fan, as I always do.
Hmm.
But more than anything, I mean, not more than a United win, but I want goals for Cunha and Sesko. I just want goals for both of them because Cunha has, of course, played so many minutes and he's been so close. He's hit the post couple of times. He's played really well, had positive performances, but the goal has kind of eluded him. So I want one goal for Mateus Cunha
Yeah,
and Benjamin Sesko just because he's such a young player and that that first Premier League goal to kind of get it off your back, so to say, would be really important.
yeah. All
I
right.
think a
With
bigger talking point is who gets the penalty, man. If there's a penalty, who gets it? Who
मैं
takes
तो
it?
बोल रहा हूँ कुन्या को दे दो. Let him open his account. Give it to
But then
Cunha.
that would also mean if see that's what I said. If Bruno takes it personally, खुद जाके कुनिया को बोल देगा ना तो अलग बात है. But if there's a managerial decision, kind of there can't be a managerial decision to
There
change the
can't.
penalty taker.
No, no, no.
There just
I
can't.
feel
I
like
don't think
I feel
even
like
Amorim has enough backing in himself to kind of tell Bruno कि भाई अब तू penalty नहीं लेगा.
I feel Bruno खुद ही दे सकता है उसको. Bruno is the kind of guy who would do such
Yeah,
a thing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he has given the ball to Rashford also in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I can totally imagine that happening. Ishan
Yeah.
is saying 2-0 to Sunderland. How's the Josh? Very very low, sir. Like, कुछ expectations ही नहीं रहे United fans के. तो चलते हैं. We'll go from the red half of Manchester to the blue half of Manchester. Manchester City are going to Brentford. So, after Brentford demolished one side of Manchester, now they are ready to demolish the second side of
Yeah, no.
Manchester.
They're
Uh,
gonna get
no,
demolished by the
no,
second
yeah,
side of
they're going to get
Manchester.
demolished. Yes, yes, absolutely. Rodri
No,
is
like
back,
I'm
though.
sorry, who's
Rodri is
I mean,
back,
yeah, Rodri is back. Rodri got subbed off at 60, which is, I
conserving
mean,
him.
Pep just said that, from a long term injury,
Yeah,
I'm not going to give him 90. Clear
yeah,
as that.
yeah,
And very smart because, we all know that Rodri is such a critical player. Obviously, Ballon d'Or winner, there's not much you can say about after that. So, yeah, Rodri is very important. I think, this season City have a very different look about them because they don't have the midfield control that they generally do.
hmm,
How they keep passing the ball around, the high numbers of possession just aren't there
yeah,
this season with City because they are relying a lot more on counter attack. They are relying a lot more on the pace of Jeremy Doku and the quick balls to Erling Haaland just running behind the defenders. And it's a little different Guardiola side, I would say, and it's a little interesting even how he's kind of working with the players and developing a different team because earlier all his teams had a very similar systematic look that players would come into the system and then go out of the system or whatever.
hmm,
And this time it's very different because you can't. There was always Pep rule. You could never expect what team would play,
yeah,
but you could expect a formation. You could expect that some players are going to be nailed, and this is the kind of way this team is going to play.
yeah,
But now you don't know if Bernardo is going to play out on the wing, if Foden's going to play on the wing, if suddenly Mamouche is going to play from the center. Anything can happen, and
yeah,
it's interesting until they keep winning. Like of course they've had difficult few games, opening games. Like I think they lost two back-to-back games in the Premier League or something,
yeah,
and even in the Champions League, I think they drew 2-2 at Monaco.
yeah,
So yeah, they've had a little rocky start, but yeah, man, you can never say anything about Pep. He
yeah.
will he will find a way to turn things around.
Uh, one bit of news that I wanted to talk about, which is not entirely City related, but City and Everton related, because it is about Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish did admit that his partying ways got in the way of his Man City career, and he admitted that there is a place and time for it, and he wasn't able to control the number of times he would like to go out and have a good time, which was all interesting. But Glenn Johnson, do you remember Glenn Johnson?
Of course.
He has come back with with a little bit of advice for Jack Grealish. He said you should do it more undercover.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I think that's just on his after the treble winning celebrations.
yeah,
Grealish was so, yeah, that parade was crazy.
yeah.
I think that's
This
probably
is
referring to that.
this is what Glenn Johnson actually said. I like what I'm hearing from Jack. I think he knows that his personality is what got him to where he was at Aston Villa and Man City. And yes, of course, he likes to go out, and sometimes you can get away with it. But sometimes you need to hide it a little bit. Keep it low key. He doesn't need to pretend or change his character. He just needs some of that because he needs the flair. He needs that flair on the pitch. It's who he is. If he's staying professional and he's not partying at the wrong times, then he can live his life. He's a sociable young lad, but ultimately he needs to make sure he's living in a way that keeps him at his very best on the pitch. He needs to do his job, and socializing needs to come second, which is probably what he's owning up to now. But like I say, you don't want to take that away from him because that's his character. But yes, you do need to rein it in a little bit and maybe do it a bit more undercover and at the right times. I
Such
think
a mature advice, like, I mean, proper
एकदम
life advice दे रहा है बंदा.
हाँ देख बेटा तेरे को पीना है तो पी पर थोड़ा मतलब डोंट मिक्स विस्की एंड वोडका यू नो
गेम के एक दिन पहले नहीं.
हाँ
गेम के
गेम के
एक
एक
दिन
दिन
पहले नहीं, 24
और तू
घंटे क्लीन रहो.
हाँ बियर और बियर डाउन करने के बाद 2 लीटर पानी भी डाउन करना पार्टी स्मार्ट मत भूलना बेटा that is the level of advice. But I feel like he should have taken advice from Cole Palmer. Didn't Cole Palmer go to the Notting Hill market or something dressed as a Jamaican Rastafarian? Did you see
Oh
that
yeah.
image? This was a couple of
Yeah,
weeks ago.
yeah, yeah,
But that was proper undercover.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
And
he
that
should
was
have.
good, man. That was good.
Yeah, he should have done something like that. Everton, of course, also have a fixture later today. Today? No, today is
No,
Bournemouth versus
today's
Wolves.
Bournemouth and Fulham.
Bournemouth Fulham is today, but Everton are taking on Crystal Palace,
Hmm.
which is going to be quite interesting. Uh,
Palace are unbeaten in 18. So, I
yeah,
mean,
I don't think
Palace.
David Moyes' Everton is going to change anything.
Yeah. And I mean, is it home or away for Everton?
Home.
I think it's home, right? Yeah. So, I mean, Palace can obviously still win. The return of Ismaila Sarr has obviously helped. He's scored in his last three Premier League appearances.
Yeah,
And obviously has three Premier League goals this season. He's a very important cog, and of course, even Mateta. Just
yeah,
how Oliver Glasner has been playing this Crystal Palace side is amazing, and it's just down to their defensive solidarity, and of course they have Adam Wharton, who's like a midfield, I don't know, general or whatever.
I
He
would love to
doesn't.
see Adam Wharton at Man United.
100%, man. One, I think there was also talks that there was rumors or whatever. I mean, although every player gets linked to United in every transfer window,
Yeah,
nothing's reliable until Fabrizio kind of
taps it
cues us
in.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, man, Oliver Glasner is. And oh, there was another, like, after the last loss at Brentford for United.
hmm.
Of course, Amorim is under the knife and all of that. So there are a lot of talks that Oliver Glasner might be
Yeah,
uh, on the list of candidates alongside, I think, the England
great. Gareth
guy,
Southgate.
Gareth Southgate. Yeah, so I think one pundit even said that Glasner would have a big problem if United come calling, and because you rarely kind of turn down United, especially
Yeah,
coming in as a manager,
yeah.
and yeah,
But
I don't know,
wouldn't that be fucking annoying for Crystal Palace fans
fucking
and
horrible.
Mark Gahey in particular?
It'll be fucking
क्योंकि
horrible, dude.
मार्क गेही का ट्रांसफर टू लिवरपूल ऑलिवर ग्लासनर ने ब्लॉक किया, बोला कि तू अगर जाया, अगर तेरे को बेचा आप लोग ने लिवरपूल को, तो मैं निकल रहा हूँ यहाँ से, आई एम वॉकिंग अवे फ्रॉम दिस क्लब. एंड सो दे केप्ट मार्क गेही एट द क्लब in order to pacify Oliver Glasner, which of course was the right thing to do because look
Yeah,
at how Crystal Palace are playing.
yeah.
And now in the middle of the season, if Glasner says, "Acha, actually, तो Man United have come calling," Mark Gage will be like, You fucking cock. You absolute cock. What the fuck, dude?
I agree. But I don't think it'd be a good move for. I don't know. I mean, Glasner is such a great manager, such a
It would
good
definitely
manager.
not be a good move.
But
Oliver Glasner, if you're listening, please don't come to Manchester United. I am
yeah,
saying
like
this as a
this
United fan.
is
Matao.
this is not a can of worms you want to get into, man. Like
Yeah.
with Palace, the level of expectation is different. The level of spotlight is different. Here, Amorim is giving fucking 400 interviews in less than a year.
Yeah.
So get real.
Yeah.
It's fucking difficult to be United manager.
Yeah, exactly. You please chill at Crystal Palace. Keep doing good stuff over there. You won the FA Cup and all. Build on that momentum, as you have been doing so far as well. So just
Yeah,
keep that going and
yeah.
and that.
But even
Right.
Everton, I like their players, man. Like that Eliman India, I really like him as a player. Even
Ooh,
as an FPL pick, he's
yes.
good, but he's such a good
I
player. Very
I
clean, very effective in whatever he does. And even when the team are kind of struggling, like against Liverpool, Liverpool obviously uh, play very attacking football, and the other team doesn't really have much of a chance to kind of control the ball. And in that, you need players with skill and quality to
yeah.
influence the game in that little opportunity, and that is what India did.
Yeah, a bunch of other games as well. Leeds versus Spurs, Aston Villa versus Burnley. Aston Villa, are coming back to
Hmm.
their very best. I think the momentum is, slowly starting to shift, and
I
Burnley
think
is a
they're one
great
or two
fixture.
points away. Villa and Burnley are just 2 points away
Yeah,
between each
yeah,
other. But yeah,
yeah,
Villa are coming back, and of
yeah,
course they're starting to integrate their signings into the team now.
yeah.
Elliot is playing more. I don't know if Sancho has played any minutes for them or no, but I
Even when
think
he plays,
eventually
it's
even
like he doesn't play.
Sancho. Yeah, I mean with a club like Villa, he can very well give some creative spark, and where there's less expectations
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Let's quickly now go over to FPL before we wrap up this stream. If you guys have any FPL questions, you can please put them in the chat. We'll try our best to answer them. If you have any confusions about what transfers to make and what not to make, please do so, because unlike Mukesh Manjunath, both Ronak and I do know what a wild card means. So, we are credible people to give you that advice. I'll start off with my team. I'll quickly just share my screen. Uh,
Even before we get into the teams, like I think just straight off the bat, with FPL, we can't not look at Bournemouth, because they have the highest scoring defender in Marco Senesi, who's gotten
Hmm.
defensive contribution points in every game this year, and that's incredible because he's also added with I think couple assists and a goal or something like that. But yeah, Marco Senesi in the defense, and Semenyo in the midfield. He's the highest scoring midfielder, and both of them in Bournemouth are just absolutely killing it.
Right. सेनेसी तो है
Definite
मेरे पास,
stays.
सेमेन्यो तो नहीं है मेरे पास, but this is
The
this is my
definite
this is
transfers
my
in.
team. What do you think? I mean, yeah, even I've been thinking of getting Semenyo in for this game week,
Grealish in
but
India, I don't like the Everton double up.
yeah, same. I think
Oh,
I'm gonna
but oh,
take
you have
India.
Salah and Haaland. I get that. But I mean,
Yeah,
I would have gone for someone like Caicedo, even because every week you will get 4 points because he gets defensive contribution every week.
Hmm.
And I think just the last game he didn't get DEFCON points, which was an oddity. Um, but yeah, like definitely switch one of them out, and I think you can now take Salah out, I feel,
Yeah,
because the money is just better spent elsewhere because there's so many better players.
yeah.
You want the likes of Saka, you want the likes of Gyökeres in your team. You want, I think you have João Pedro. I can't see the bottom of your team, like, I can't see
I
your
do a job,
bench.
Pedro. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, so you have João Pedro, but like, you'd want even like a Semenyo in your team, and then even in defense, because now the defenses are racking up points.
yeah.
You can't not have an Arsenal defender. You would want to have like at least one Arsenal defender, like either in Raya or in Gabriel, or even a Calafiore or Timber are decent picks.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I do you have your wild card?
No, I played my wild card.
Okay,
So I have one
nice.
free transfer. I can make one transfer, and I feel like that transfer is going to be Semenyo in midfield
Hmm.
for this game week. I think,
Semenyo is a no-brainer, man. Semenyo is just
yeah,
you just need him long term in the team, and because his value's just been rising every week.
yeah,
I don't know where he's at, but I think I bought him at 7.1 or 7.2. So
Ooh,
yeah, it's crazy.
we'll have to see
You just
how.
definitely need both of them. And I think if you played your wildcard, then why do you keep Darlow as your second keeper, man?
I don't know. I don't have answers to these tough questions, Ronak. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what you want from me. I'm going to show you the show everybody your team. All right. This
Yeah,
is this is
let's.
Ronak's team.
I mean,
71 points.
Gabriel definitely bailed me out, and Bruno just killed United and my FPL
Yeah.
team. I
Yeah.
mean, just imagine if Bruno had I had Bruno from the start of the season. Had
Hmm.
Bruno put in both those penalties,
Yeah.
Bruno would have been the second highest scoring midfielder after Semenyo in the league. Like, just that's how stark the difference was. The two penalties, man.
Yeah.
Of course, Haaland is back, and Richarlison. I was so fucking sad. Uh, we didn't speak about Spurs and did we speak about Spurs?
No, we
Spurs have
did not.
Leeds, right?
Spurs and
Yeah,
Leeds.
because fuck, I'm so pissed off at Richarlison. I thought he had a fucking great fixture on my wild card. I brought him instead of Gyökeres. I know Gyökeres didn't do anything, but it was a planned punt that I'd get Richarlison in for Wolves and Leeds, and I expected returns in both.
Yeah.
And now, if he doesn't fucking score against Leeds, then it's a fucking howler on my end.
Yeah.
Because now I'm going to have to use a transfer up to get Gyökeres in either ways. If I don't end up getting Saka, because even that's something I'm considering for NDI, I might just go and get in Salah because I have the money in the bank. I've kept it for that one Arsenal attacking player. I just
Yeah.
thought I'll make the decision in a week's time.
Yeah.
But I'm nowhere close to the decision.
Yeah.
If I want to go Gyökeres next week for Richarlison or get Saka this week for NDI.
I feel, but do you really want to take NDI out or don't you want to take Bruno out?
So just for this week, I want to take I want to keep Bruno. Uh,
It's the hope
and
that kills you, bro.
no, so it's also okay. NDI, I know long term fixtures are bad. Even this week, he's against Palace. I don't expect him to score lots of goals in the next few fixtures. So that's why NDI. And then Bruno, he's a 9 point, zero midfielder. You can always move funds around then. In a week's time after I see the Sunderland game, even if I want someone else, I can easily swap them in
Yeah.
for Bruno. So I'm thinking in that along that line. And right now, the exact money to get Saka in is just whether I want to go in on Saka or get Gyökeres for Richarlison this week or the next. But yeah, I think the most important part in this deciding thing is the penalties. So as I said last time, I think it was Gyökeres who is the main penalty taker for Arsenal this season. And Arteta very explicitly said that Gyökeres is the best penalty taker at the club.
Yeah.
But just in their last game, Gyökeres went down. He was fouled in the box, which ultimately was not given as a penalty.
Hmm.
But what was interesting, or at least it made the Twitter forums, was that Saka was seen holding the ball when Gyökeres was down. Now, does
Hmm.
that mean that Saka is still on pens, or does that mean that he was holding the ball until kind of Gyökeres kind of gets back up? And if it was a penalty that was given, so
Don't you think that should also count for a penalty assist? साका ने ऐसे ग्योकरेस को बॉल दिया
ball
तो
diya.
ये असिस्ट हो गया पेनल्टी के लिए आई थिंक द गुड पीपल एट फैंटेसी प्रीमियर लीग नीड टू टेक दैट इनटू कंसिडरेशन and
Just
give
when
us
we're this close to getting some credibility for FPL.
but that's the whole, always keep them guessing what your next move is going to be. Very quickly, I want to see Mukesh Manjunath's team as well, because Mukesh has sent us his team. He is unable to join today's stream, but he has shared his team, and this is it.
Okay, he and Virgil, I think he's just dream teaming
Dream
Liverpool's
teaming Liverpool, man.
defense. And he has Alison Becker as well.
Yeah.
And Calafiori is a good pick. Anthony, I mean, I don't know if of course, he hasn't played the wild card. He doesn't know what the wild card is, but
No.
it's such a different team that he's built, man. I mean, of course, the Salah and Haaland team.
Yeah.
And I think he's gotten really lucky with that Jaden Anthony of Burnley. I don't know when he got Anthony, but he's just
I feel like
been
I don't think
in the
he's made
points.
any transfers. I don't think he's made
Oh,
any
then he's
transfers.
been. then he's been very lucky with Jaden Anthony. Like, I mean, I don't think anyone expected the kind of returns that Jaden Anthony has given from a Burnley team. No one expected
Yeah,
that. But
yeah,
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 kudos to him that he kept Haaland and Salah both.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah,
yeah,
it's a nice team. And I think even Caicedo has worked out well for him because, especially because of the defensive contribution ka addition into the game. Because
yeah,
without that, this team kind of feels a little light.
yeah.
Because Zubimendi, although he scored 2 goals, but I don't think Zubimendi is a mainstay because
No,
he takes up that Arsenal spot, which is so valuable.
yeah,
There's 5 other players I'd rather
yeah,
have than
yeah.
Zubimendi.
You can have Eze, you can have Saka, you can have,
Oh, any
you
actually
know,
not even
any,
5, man, and
yeah,
probably 8, 9. Even
any of
Rice I would take over Zubimendi.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Right.
from a FPL perspective.
Yeah. Uh, from a life perspective, I don't know. But yes, on that note, it is time to wrap up this preview stream. We hope you really enjoyed joining us. We enjoyed talking about the games and previewing them as well. So it was absolute great fun. Thank you to everybody who commented in the live chat. It makes a lot of sense for us to also talk to you guys. It's a lot of fun to do that. So keep that coming in all our streams. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, which is there in the bottom right corner of your YouTube screens right now, wherever you're watching this, or even if you're watching this later after live. Just hit that subscribe button because it's great. If you'd like to get in touch with us outside of the stream, you can find us on social media. You can find Ronak on Instagram
At Ronaq becomes a
and you can find me on Instagram at Amogh And Ronaq. You can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram at Corner Flag Pod. Like I said, subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. And do not forget to give us a 5-star review because that really does help us. Shout out to Kezad Gurda for our theme tune. And until next time, not next week, next time, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Ronak.
bye bye, guys.
And it's bye from me.